Alright subs, it's about time we have an updated breakdown of what's going on in the world, because the earth is groaning right now. Tsunamis, wildfires, earthquakes, volcanoes, and skies that no longer look like the skies we used to know. But what if all this just isn't nature, but a calculated takedown, a man-made cleansing of the old world, masked as chaos? This is the great unnatural reset, and it's already begun. In just the last few weeks, we have had record-breaking monsoons and floods across China, New York. We've had earthquakes in Russia, Japan, New Jersey, volcanoes that have erupted that haven't been touched in over 600 years, lightning storms never been seen before over water, fires that are exploding from nowhere in Greece, California and Hawaii. You know, these aren't coincidences, they're warnings, they're scripts. You know, we need to not forget about the 1960s where they, had Operation Popeye. They used cloud seeding to extend monsoon seasons and flood out the enemies. They told us about Project Storm Fairy and Project Cloverleaf and HARP. And now we're seeing the results in real time. Fires are aligning with 5G towers, floods hitting cities near elite controlled ports. There is even theories of laser beams. And don't laugh, this is literally patented. And lurking beneath the water is Russia's Poseidon. Just the 100 megaton underwater nuke that was literally designed to create tsunamis. And where is it stationed? Right near these earthquake zones. They're not shaking the earth, they're preparing a ritual reset. Ultimately, they are tampering with the sky. We've seen this year alone strange rings over cities and double suns on the horizon and the big red moon that was showing up and plasma rainbows, magnetic glitches. We've even seen lunar waves showing the moon that isn't a solid object. It's basically a cosmic luminary within the firmament. Now, in Luke 21:25, it says, "There shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars." And brothers, we're seeing them. And we know that this isn't the first time that the earth has been reset. But the truth is buried under the lies. Tartaria, ancient tech, global architecture, and evidence of the giant mud floods, Atlantis, a high-tech society punished for rebellion and pride. Or even Noah's flood in Genesis 6, the fallen corrupted the bloodline and the world was wiped. Every time humanity turns from God and tries to play the creator, the world floods, burns and falls. What we're seeing is not natural. It's a script. It's a ritual, a rehearsal for the full reset. And unless you're spiritually awake, you'll call it progress or coincidence or even climate change. But for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, this is the collapse of Babylon. And honestly, this is all numerically coded and they tell us in the movies. Poseidon showed 7/11 timestamps when the wave hit. The same date New York flooded this year. Black Mirror glorifies AI and transhumanism. Superman is basically Satan cloaked in light. The savior who falls from the sky. And the Hulk Hogan Poseidon rituals, the flood tsunamis, and it's all coded to the number 88, 97 and the event 201. They're not hiding this anymore. They're just doing it in plain sight as well, because most people are too distracted, sedated or deceived. Stick around, beautiful subscribers, for part 2, because we're going to show you all of the numerology that I have found, especially with the number 88 and what I think it means and what I actually think is going to happen next. Obviously, just for the sensory reasons, this was for entertainment and I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, beautiful people.